A lesson of Pro Teaches Noob. Today I'm returning again, Dead Guy.
Hey guys.
And we're continuing our going over Superman Batman with the late great Michael Turner's him working with Jeph Loeb on the Supergirl arc, where we finally, for the first time since Crisis on Infinite Earths, got the Kara Zor-El Supergirl back. And before we start, actually, I gotta grab something. I just realized I forgot.
Grab away, sir. Grab away. I'm going to sit here and enjoy that beautiful artwork. I'm also familiar with this story arc
It's a
slightly.
treasured book of mine. You wanna know why?
Well,
Signed by Michael
oh,
Turner a year before he died.
oh my God.
Yep, saw him at
Dude, that.
C2E2, and he passed away the very next C2, the same weekend as the very next C2E2.
Rest in peace.
Yep,
Wow.
this is one of my possessions, and it says to Robert Willing,
Dude, that's awesome.
and I
That is
love
awesome.
this arc. I mean, look at this cover right now.
I've been looking at it. I was like, grab away, man. I'm going to stare at this beautiful cover art. I'm
Hmm.
familiar with this story arc as well.
Yeah, this
So,
also got adapted.
yeah, and you know what? I'm curious and I'm anxious to see the comic version. Like you've been walking me through the comic versions of some of my favorite animated films I've seen. So
Well, this is as far as what gets adapted.
cool. Yes, yes.
Anything afterwards never got adapted, although one of them, the very next one, almost did. If the Supergirl one had sold better.
I
But
liked it
anyway,
personally.
we've seen Batman. There's still, remember where we left off last time? The giant kryptonite meteorite had exploded, so there's kryptonite all over the planet. So they're still gathering it. So Batman's like, Batman, no, Clark. You don't even know what I'm going to ask. Yes, I do. And the answer is still no. Well, then, there must be something I can do. You already are doing it. I've been doing research in the fortress, and there are lead alloys I could. I'm not willing to take that chance, and neither should you. I've been on monitor duty for 11 days, and you agreed to give us 2 weeks. Last time I checked, that was 14 days. My fate in the hand of Plastic Man. I can't tell you how that instills me with confidence. We have the JLA, the JSA, the Titans, and the Outsiders all working overtime on this. So do us all a favor, stay off this comlink, and go play with your dog. Don't bring the dog into this. Every time you get annoyed, you bring up the dog. No, I just find it curious that apparently the sum total of your Kryptonian heritage is you, irradiated rock, which is lethal to you, and a four-legged cat barbecuing. Damn, Batman, what's wrong? Did you find something? You found something, didn't you? And
Yes.
yep, Batman, I can't tell if you're in jeopardy. It's nothing. And stay off this comlink. Do you want me to call? Do you want me to call Lois? And she gets up and takes the bat boat. Now that was a cheap shot, even from you. It was one thing to bring up the dog, but threatening to tell my wife, you know me, I'll do whatever is necessary to get the job done. You have to trust me. Trust all of us. Now I forgot some of the narrations here. I still like it. It was like, I'm alone. I know that. I have my wife, my parents, even friends, but I am alone. He's unhappy. Not that I blame him. If our roles were reversed and I were quarantined to the cave, I would be unhappy too. What happened, the meteor shower is still a stinging reminder. I do not think there is anyone on this planet that could inspire such cooperation. And I was not born of this earth. It only speaks to how remarkable his life, his influence has been. I'm the last son of Krypton. He knows this is about the kryptonite, the only known substance that can kill him. He's experienced the effects of both green and red. Who knows what these other specimens might bring about him? An alien. The condition of the hull, the ocean floor, the absence of any barnacle or parasitic activity points to only one conclusion. This spaceship has not been underwater for very long. A week, maybe two. Either that, or somebody has gone to extraordinary lengths to make it appear that way. I'm alone. Oh, look at the artwork! Look at that!
Wow.
Look at that Batman! The marking on the
Dude.
ships were Kryptonian. The font and glyphs accurate. I have had the opportunity to study the alphabet at Superman's request. There was not enough time to translate the message. If someone wanted to draw me away from the crash site, they succeeded in that regard. My task now is to see that they regret it. And hello, gosh, she's obviously lost. Yeah, I'll be happy to take her home. Now she's speaking Kryptonese. What language is that? Is that Swedish? Gus, I don't, I got a bad feeling about this. I'll bet you're one of those Swedish stewardess that. Ah! Hey, Gus was a jerk, but you shouldn't have. Lady, I didn't have nothing to do with them. Here, take my coat. It's got to be worth $400. Just please don't hurt me. Tell me what you saw. Look at her.
She's beautiful.
Wham! She's freaking out. Gaining all of her powers already.
Oh no.
I didn't. I should have translated all this ahead of time, but I didn't.
I think it's better not to.
Yep, enough. Extraordinary strength, heat vision, or something like it. Now flight. And Superman, I'm not on this comlink, so I can't possibly hear you. There's a job for you. Wham! Anything else you want me to do before you send me back to my room? Oh! I don't know who you are. If I knew what you were saying, it might make what I have to do less difficult. But you have to be stopped. Brings her to into the Bat Cave. I take her to the cave. Given the possibility of her origins, it's the safest place. Initial studies indicate she's an alien. Her DNA, the display of metahuman powers, further indicate the place of her birth. If I'm mistaken, or if this is some elaborate test and trap, like I brought along an insurance policy. The two of them are just talking to each other. Actually, I think this particular page was translated, so hold on.
Oh,
yeah, here it is.
You've got it handy. Okay.
For this one page. You speak Kryptonese. I do. The question is, why do you? I speak the language because I came from the planet Krypton. Really? Krypton was destroyed years ago, and everyone on it. Not everyone. My uncle was head of the Science Council. He tried to get them to understand. The planet was unstable, but they wouldn't listen. Your uncle? Yes, my father's brother. He built a spaceship, a prototype, intending to send his entire family, but I think time ran out. My father was also a scientist. He believed his brother and built a similar but larger spacecraft, following the same coordinates. Your uncle, what was his name? Jor-El. He and my Aunt Laura had a son, Kal-El. I am Kal-El. Jor-El was my father. Then, I made it. I made it. But you were just a baby, and, oh, I don't care. I have family here. I'm Kara Zor-El. What did she say? What were you two talking about? This is Kara Zor-El, my cousin from Krypton. I am not alone. Who or what are we dealing with? Great way to bring her in, right?
Yes. Honestly, a more realistic origin, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Again, great artwork, right?
I'm blown away. I'm getting a copy. I'm getting copies of these like immediately.
This vessel carries my daughter, Kara Zor-El, from the now dead planet Krypton. Treat her as you would your own child, for you will see the treasure she was born to you. Do you think the word, and we've translated the word treasure properly? For the 14th time, yes, it means treasure, not terror, not trouble. What is wrong with you just accepting her? This is a love story. This is a detective story. Not a love story in the sense of a man and a woman, but more about a family who grows to love each other. They don't tell stories like these anymore. He's got a point!
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a detective story in the traditional sense that a crime is being committed or a dead body has shown up yet, but it's a story that I know all too well. You could start when I find how she said she got here to be a little too convenient, and if we are to accept it, you realize that Lucifer wasn't insane. The navigational system on board this craft was bringing the asteroid to Earth, specifically to you. Lucifer would have no way of knowing that, but Darkseid would. The point is, what did you just do? I turned something on. Feels like sunlight. Well, that explains how her powers manifested themselves so quickly. How convenient. He sees it as some sort of detective story. All of his trust issues right there on the surface. He sees it as some sort of feel-good Reader's Digest story. The Kansas farm boy who's found a long-lost relative. Kara has done nothing wrong, nothing to warrant your concern. We don't even know if her name is Kara. Look, call it instinct. She's been here nearly a month, cooped up in the fortress, and hasn't done anything. Let me in! It's after me! It hates me! I didn't do anything to it, I swear! Rose has been tremendous help. Buying clothes for her without even ever meeting her. Even with all my powers, that's not something I could do. I can't wait to introduce them. After this quarantine period, this girl has learned English in less than a month, and several other languages as well. I hope Clark doesn't have any plans to bring her outside. Given her power levels, I'm not sure even the fortress is safe. And Kara, calm down. What's chasing you? Has the fortress been breached? That! Look at Crypto! Demon dog! He looks like a demon dog! I mean, doesn't he?
Yeah. Heat vision eyes and everything.
Crypto, no! Down, boy! I was going in the Intergalactic Zoo, looking at some of the cool stuff, and all of a sudden, why won't he accept that this girl's Kara Zor-El, my cousin from Krypton? I don't know who this girl is, other than I believe her to be dangerous. Bad dog. Kara's a friend. Leave her alone. I tried to get Crypto to like me, but enough. We go up to your quarters. We'll discuss this later. I didn't do anything wrong. Go talk to her, or she's obviously upset. Doesn't it bother you at all that the dog hates her? His job is to protect the fortress when he's here. Besides, the dog hates everybody. Try that boogeyman stuff with someone else. I can hear your heartbeat from 40 yards away, if you had a heart. Why can't you leave me alone? You'll never understand what it's like to be me. Then explain it to me until I do. Losing your mother and father right before your eyes, and being in here, this Hall of Krypton. Does it help fill any of your memory lapses? Some. I know that's my Uncle Jor-El and my Aunt Laura, and their matter of dress. There's been some question Superman's and Kal-El's head, if that's accurate. I don't remember, damn you. If you want to hear it again, fine. Basically, it explains her origin and how she, though, took off a little too late and got buried in all that kryptonite rock. And of course, what brought her? You remember your mother's name? You know I don't. Why is that so important? Why don't you trust me? Because you desperately want me to. She's been through enough. I think she's ready. I don't think she is. You're making a mistake. Then it'll be mine to make. Ready for what, Cal? Fury! Furies! You were bred to be the. Look at Granny Goodness.
Yes.
Like you were bred to be the finest warriors of Apocalypse, the elite guard who stand at the ready to serve the almighty Darkseid. Finally, there was one among you who would challenge you all. Show Granny what my girls are made of. Come now, precious. Kill or be killed. Come forth, Furies. Taste my blade. And she's dead quickly.
Yes.
Disappoint me again, Granny Goodness. You led me to believe that the one you call Precious could replace Big Barda as captain of the honor guard. I know, she showed such promise. Bring me the girl who fell to earth. She is mine. She is mine for the molding, or it will be you, dear Granny, that the Furies will next be carrying off. Hold on a second. So what do you think so far of this?
Bring me the Kryptonian.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, I'm excited now. I'm excited. Question. Are we going to see Big Barda?
Yes, we will.
Yes. Okay, cool. I'm digging it. Dude, the art is just mind-blowing.
Yep. As they're going out shopping, and there was one bit I liked from the anime movie that they don't show here. It's her looking at clothes, some guys checking out her ass, and Clark glaring.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they did kind of make it modern with the times when they animated it a little bit.
Yep. Although I just love that bit though. So that's a moment I wish they used. Of course, Bruce is still following behind. He's showing her around, taking him to his statue where after he died. And then eventually, though, someone grabs her. I think you could tell who. And also, she's
Mm-hmm.
being attacked by Harbinger from Crisis on Infinite Earths. And Artemis is there. And it turns out, though, well, it's Wonder Woman who has her to train her.
Oh gosh, she looks great.
Yep. I mean, really, that's what Loeb wanted to go with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is to try to have her be a raised by the Trinity.
Dude,
Oh, look at
dude,
that!
that is awesome.
Look at that ass!
Artemis ass.
And look, we have Harbinger. Haven't seen her in ages.
Oh yeah, okay, I see her to the right there.
Yep. But yeah, but all of a sudden, though, she loses and Cal overreacts. And of course, Diana gives them a chewing out, of course. You have a problem with someone, as Diana, you come to me. That's fine, Diana. Since the problem I'm having, since the person I'm having a problem with is you, then don't take it out on Artemis or anyone else here for that matter. I didn't realize Superman had such a hair trigger temper, Kara. He's just a little overprotective of me, Lila. A little? You asked me to you out here and told me to keep an open mind. I have. Kara's coming home with me. Where? Back to the fortress where the only contact she can have is your dog? Or were you planning on moving her into the apartment? Because if you were to believe her story, home is the long dead planet Krypton, and I'm not sure how you're going to get there. She was sent to Earth specifically to me. You've got to hear and her out here training for battle when she's got enough power to take on the entire island. Having power and knowing how to use it aren't the same thing. You know that better than anyone. Why don't you step back and look at the big picture? Hey, can I say something? Not that I mind you two talking about me like I'm not here. Well, actually, I do. Should I have something to say about where I'm going to live? Cousin Cal, I wasn't sent to this planet as a baby. You were. If things had worked out the way my father Zor-El intended, it was going to be me who's supposed to be looking after you. But Kara, that's not how it turned out. We have to deal with the here and now. Now, you're still a teenager, and I've spent all this time growing up here. You're my cousin, the only other survivor from Krypton. Who else is better suited to looking after you, deciding what's best for you? How about me? Kara, why don't you go off with your friends until dinner? Getting rid of me so the adults can talk? Something like that. Whoever she is, anyone who can look both Clark and Diane in the eyes and not flinch is either the greatest asset to this world or someone we should all be very afraid of. Again, Bats is a bit too paranoid.
He's skeptical.
What is it you two and the two of you expect me to say? That I'm all right with Diana ambushing Kara and me in Metropolis, short of kidnapping her, or that you, Bruce, cooked up that plan to make it look like an attack as some kind of test to see what she would do? Not just what she would do, what you would do as well. Were you really going to snap Artemis' neck just then? Bruce, no, Diana, we've tipped the road toad around this long enough. Clark, I've watched you ever since the girl came into our lives. You've let your guard down, exposed your secret identity, when common sense should be telling you to take this slower. How long was it before you let Superboy this far into your life? Superboy wasn't from Krypton. And how do you know she is? How do you know she isn't? Unlike you, Bruce, I don't look for the bad in everyone. Maybe that makes me naive in your eyes, but every instinct I have tells me this girl is my cousin. She's done nothing to show me otherwise. It wasn't that long ago that I thought I had a lead on who killed my parents. Wasn't it you who warned me that the information might not be accurate, that it could have been planted there, that it was too dangerous to accept at face value? You two don't understand. If she is from Krypton, then let's assume she is. A young, impressionable girl with awesome power. Raw, untested, ripe for someone to exploit. Do you think that the universe can keep that a secret? What is it you're not telling me, Diana? As we see a moment where you think from Lila that she's seeing an image of, well, Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you think for a moment, but it's not. Oh,
Oh. Oh. I know who that is.
yep, Doomsday all of a sudden appears.
See, Clark was distracted.
Yep, but it's not what you think. Hold on a second.
I'm sold. I can't get over
Yep.
how good the artwork is in this
But
comic.
then
I
look, more
cannot.
Doomsdays! They're copies! Her presence will bring death and destruction. That's what they think is what was said and what Harbinger Vision had said. But yeah, they're fighting them off. But they soon quickly realize something. Doomsday, last we saw in Superman 175, had devolved into a sentient being. These are just monsters, meaning these are just copies, what they call animates.
Yes.
So yeah, they're fighting. These are going down way far easier. And then look at this.
That is wow.
Now, of course, Superman is starting to question things. I don't think I could have done that twice. Where's Batman? Turns out Lila got killed. And they show that Darkseid has taken her.
Oh, that's right. She left one of her premonitions for him.
Her orbs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Fine.
Oh, this is great. They did really well on the adaptation.
They did. Now we're about to get Barda soon.
Let's go to Apocalypse.
There she is. Oh, when you said you guys were coming right over, you really meant right over. You didn't leave like a Batmobile on a invisible plane in the driveway, right? Lovely day, Mrs. Carvitz, isn't it? Batman, but how, where, when did you get here? Why do I even ask? Barda. Look, I'm sorry, I couldn't reach Scott. He's on tour doing the escape artist thing. We appreciate the help. No biggie. Any enemy of Darkseid is a friend of mine. Just give me a minute and we can go. We can go. I'm not following. I'm not following. My mother box, my boom tube. You left me in behind the last time you went after Darkseid. Not this time. From what you've told me, I'm willing to bet that it was the female Furies who killed Harbinger and made off with your cousin. That makes it personal for me too. Cal, may I have a word with you? Hey Batman, what do you think you're doing? That's Scott's secret? I need to borrow some of this. Fine, just try not to break anything. I knew there was a reason I left the Justice League and moved to Connecticut. Barda's doing us a big favor, given that I hold you partially responsible for this. What? If Kara hasn't been on Paradise Island and was up under my watch, first of all, she was happy. Secondly, I lost warriors defending that girl. Harbinger gave her life. Would we been having this conversation if we were saving Donna Troy or Jason Todd? That's enough. Kara isn't dead. Okay, let's take Darkseid down. Go team. Now look at it. She's taller than all of them.
Dude, Barda's amazing.
I know. It smells like death. There's no place like home. Whoa!
Damn.
Batman, Wonder Woman, Barda. We all know our jobs. Let's just be clear. Kara comes with me. And so we're clear, Superman. Everyone goes home. Be prepared. Whoosh. Does he know what he's getting himself into? I'm not sure, Barda. I've known Superman a long time, and I'm just not sure. I know this isn't the right time, but you've always been something of an inspiration to me. Barda, don't play it off, Diana. When someone brings hope to another person, it's a gift. And growing up in this hellhole, where you grew up, Barda, it's where you will, and where you grew up, Barda, it's where you will die. The gang's all here. Mad Harriet, Lashina, Stampa, and Giotella. You should never have come back, Barda. Although, personally, I look forward to any chance to kill you. I tell you to go to hell, Gilatana, but given the situation, that'd be redundant. They'll go for positions, and Diana, try and separate us. Let them try. They're good. I know. I trained them. Thanks. Forget it. I said I trained them. That doesn't mean I like them. Hold on a second.
Woo.
Yeah, again, just look at this action.
Dude, to go melee with Wonder Woman, that requires some big inside balls, I have to say.
Mm-hmm. And oh, geez, look at those demon dogs.
Dude, that is freaking cool.
Well, they're going after Batman until he finds the hell spores. He starts to use one of the mother box to manipulate them, and for a moment you think he got eaten. Superman makes his way there until he finds like Darkseid. Kara leaves with me. Kara, oh look at this Darkseid. She's free to leave if that is what she desires. Kara, I don't know what he's done to you, but the nightmare's over. You're safe now. Yes, she is safe now. You'll always be safe with me. Darkseid, after Kara's home, you and I have unfinished. Cal, you didn't listen to what Darkseid said to you. You never listen to anyone other than your own voice. Kara, he's corrupted you somehow. He said I was free to go if I wanted to. I can't, won't fight you. You should have listened to me. Good. Now, kill him.
Uh-oh.
Yep, uh-oh indeed.
She's technically stronger than him.
No. Not technically, but technically not. Kara, stop. Do not hesitate. Kill him. And they assume something was wrong with the beast. Then what does Wonder Woman do? Uses her lasso to grab Granny Goodness. Like, as you wish, Darkseid. Batman gets his way out of the demon dog. Wonder Woman grabs Granny to get the Furies to stop. And, oh boy, look at her.
Dude, that's scary and hot.
With your death, cousin, my life begins here on Apocalypse. Kara, Darkseid's taking control of your mind. This isn't you. You don't know me. You only know what you want to know. Gah! And, yeah. Now, of course, they're bringing up about, at this time we had Red Hood running around. So, obviously, this is happening at the same time. And Donna Troy had died around this point, too.
Okay.
So, yeah. But now, look at what he does. He actually uses the kryptonite ring on himself to hurt her.
Look at his arm. Oh, my God.
Yeah. This breaks my heart, Kara Zor-El. It's over, Darkseid. You will let the girl go now. Even if you must realize the folly of being the king, if there's no kingdom to rule. I doubt the battle between the two Kryptonians will bring about such destruction. This isn't about them. Your armory, the Hellsports, they've been activated. You don't have long to surrender. Those weapons, the arming was corrupted and encrypted. Yes, a mother box explained that to me, as I reprogrammed a lot. You are bluffing. You are 7XLL009. Launch codes, at least they were, until I changed them to any of a myriad of possible letters and numbers. They say one hellspore will create a fire pit. What will happen to Apocalypse when 500 of them go off simultaneously? You dare! You dare! I could destroy you with a single blast of my omega beams. Yes, but that won't stop the bombs. You will disarm them! Release the girl and give your word to leave her be. Disavow Kara Zor-El. Say it. Well played. Had the Kryptonian or the Amazon taken this gamble, they would have lost. They do not have the strength of character it would take to destroy an entire planet to achieve success. But you, a human, you kill your own kind to win battles. It is an admirable quality. Take the girl. I will make no move against her. I will hold you to that promise. And the entire Amazon army will back him. The mother box will heal your wounds. No, I can take care of myself. Okay, it's your headache. Disarm the Hellspores and leave Apocalypse. Let's go home. Kara? Cal, it was one long nightmare, and all I remember was trying to get home. It's all right. Now, you're with me. Between the mother box and Amazonian science, you've been given a clean bill of health. I'm so sorry for what happened. Then remembering Lila, as basically that she was Kara's first friend. Allura. What? You asked me once if I could remember my mother's name. Little by little it comes back to me. Her name was Allura. If that still matters to you. It does. Cal, I'm ready now. What do you think? I want to know what you think. Honestly, I'm torn. I remember what Darkseid turned me into. We've been over this, Kara. Darkseid lives for manipulation. If he has magics at his disposal, hypnotists, scientists whose only function is to break your spirit. Ask Sparta if you want to hear the horror stories she and Scott suffered through. Darkseid is evil, but did he influence me or bring out a darkness that is already there? I already know that answer. Now, come on. There are some folks I want you to meet. I like my uniform. I'm glad. My mom made it for you. Look at her!
Dude, that's great. That image is that's great.
But as soon as they get there, no! I gave my word I would not come for the girl. Your death, however, is something that is long overdue, Superman. No! Ah, pity.
Yes,
This
just when
leads
you
to
thought
the
it was
big
over.
fight. Oh, look at that cover.
She's great, man.
Your Supergirl is dead. She came out of the sky as a gift from a planet that has long since died. Just like that world, she is gone. It will be difficult for you to learn that once again you are the last Kryptonian. Clark Kent is not always Superman. Up on. And as a child, he displayed little or no powers. He lived in Smallville, Kansas, and has all the problems of a normal boy. That is, as normal as would ever hold true for normal in this day and age. To learn on an orphaned orphan. The irony is, however, you have no one to blame but yourself. Darkseid, shut the hell up!
Damn.
Yeah, I won't let you talk about her like you knew her. It didn't matter to you that she was tall for her age, blonde, and she had the bluest of eyes. Her smile infectious. She was fearless. She had spunk. You are correct. None of that matters to me. She had power, tremendous power that had been virtually untapped. It would have been a glorious life for her to be captain of my honor guard, a role Barda foolishly abandoned years ago. Instead, my Omega beams reduce your cousin to ash. There will be even less of you to bury. No! Ah! Stay out of this, Diana. Vroom! You know nothing about a glorious life, Darkseid. There are so many things she'll never experience because of you. List a bunch of them. Enough! You prattle on like a child reciting bits of meaningless trivialities. She'll never know laughter again. Speak to me of the spectacle of warfare, the magnificence of vanquishing your enemy. These are the things that matter in life. No, of course, none of what I've said has any meaning to you. You only know death, a blackness that has brought you nothing. It has made me a god. No, it has made you vulnerable. What have you done? I am Darkseid, yes, but your defeat is in Supergirl's name. Boom! You know this place, don't you? The final barrier at the end of the outer space, the source wall. For years and years, you've tried to learn the secrets of ultimate power from the other side, but you will never get the answer, just like the others who are entombed here. This is where you belong, along with all the other failures in the universe. So he flies back, and then we see the League are helping rebuild everything. Thankfully, Mom and Pa weren't there. They were back in, back there. But turns out, Kara's not dead. It was all a ruse.
Sweet.
I guess I should thank you. It's not easy dying. I've tried it myself. I was so scared. Can I tell you a secret? I get a little scared every time I put on the cape. You're just saying that to make me feel better. All I know is it took a special kind of courage to dive in front of Darkseid's Omega beams. And even if Darkseid's gone, what about the Luthers, the Brainiacs, the Joker still to come? Are you planning on teleporting me out of harm's way every time? You have a life. You can be Clark or Kal-El or Superman. Who am I going to be? I can't answer that. If you want to be Supergirl, an Amazonian warrior, or a not so normal teenager living anywhere in this not so normal world, it has to be your decision. Kara, I promise you, whatever you decide, I'll be there for you. Darkseid could never be trusted. It's why I had Kara flying around the country in her Supergirl costume. Waving a red cape in his face got the reaction we wanted. He attacked. Are you gonna be alright? Hardest thing I've ever had to do. The beating you gave Darkseid. Do you know when he thought he'd killed Kara, he showed no remorse at all. After all that, he made it easy. Then, what is it? I remember when I started college. My dad wrote me a letter. He described how he and my mom had done their job. They brought me up right. And how all that meant to him the morning I left was their only son was old enough to say goodbye. I didn't raise Kara. The truth is, we were only just getting to know each other. But I was so hell bent on keeping her close to me. So thrilled to have someone who didn't make me feel alone that I did exactly the opposite of what I set out to do. I made it so she couldn't choose her own life, her own destiny. I didn't know until it's too late that she already was good old enough to say goodbye. Like Wonder Woman promised, Diana watched over Kara. Literally, as in using the JLA satellite. When Supergirl rushed in front of Darkseid's Omega Beam, Diana teleported her out and teleported her ashes back in. Since the night I found Kara in Gotham Harbor, I've been trying to understand your behavior. You've been overprotective, even hostile to anyone who might harm her. The only thing I can find in my own life to compare it to was how I would react if Jason Todd was suddenly found alive. I'm sorry about the crack I made about Jason. It's forgotten. But I don't believe this is like Jason. It's more like Dick Grayson. When Dick decided he'd outgrown being Robin and he chose to be Nightwing, separating Batman and Robin, I had trouble letting go. She soon then makes a decision that to be honest, I'm not sure I've earned the name, the right to use that name, or to even wear this uniform. But I'm hoping with all of your help, I'll grow into it. Having fun with heroes my own age, Superboy and the Teen Titans, and this is so cool. Being challenged by Nightwing and the Outsiders. If a nuke went off right now, Plastic Man would be the most powerful guy on Earth. Shut up, Grace. I have to meet the JSA. Power Girl and I have to talk. And my cousin tells me I'll find a kindred spirit in Stargirl. Hey, that's me. I rock. I want to reach for the JLA. Let's hope she's not as stiff like Clark. He can hear you, Ollie. Kara, I know that you'll get to do everything you've said and more. After all, each of us, in our own way, fights with the hope for a better tomorrow. What better role for you to aspire to be than hero? Thank you, everyone. I started out this journey thinking how alone I was. Because of this teenager, I will never feel that way again. Welcome to this universe, Kara Zor-El. Whatever suspicions I may have had about Kara, I've decided to set them aside and trust Clark's instincts. For now. And dedicated to Christopher Reeves, who passed away around this point.
Oh yeah, that was then. Oh,
So, what did you think?
wonderful, absolutely wonderful story.
Great way of starting
Absolutely.
things off with her, right?
Yeah, that's. I didn't know that was. Was that an origin that they scrapped later?
No.
Or I guess not. Okay,
Well,
so that's still her origin story.
yeah, that's still her origin story. Now, New 52 did change it, obviously.
That's what I remembered. Yeah, yeah, but I mean that's a whole different timeline that technically
Yep.
doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, yeah.
hmm Now, as far as what we will have later get in Supergirl's own ongoing series, that will be something entirely different and would be a major mess until Sterling Gates took over.
Okay,
But we'll
okay.
get to that in a later video. But overall, it's a shame we lost Michael Turner, isn't it?
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
incredible artwork. All of his characters were amazing.
I did. It's inspiring. Like I actually draw. I just kind of gave up, like
Ah,
almost 5 or 6 years ago because it just wasn't going anywhere.
right.
Um, I've been drawing, wanting to do comics since I was a kid, and it's inspiring. His artwork was inspiring. Like almost the best bat I think I've ever
And the
ever seen
coloring
in
too,
comics.
right?
Yeah, yeah. It was like bright and dark all at the same time. So
That's Peter Sigurwheel or something like that doing the coloring. And his is always incredible.
it's the contrast. He managed to get the dark when it needed to be dark, and yet,
And they're bright when it needs to be bright.
yeah, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, they were all very colorful. So it was
Now,
Absolutely
I mean,
brilliant.
though I am a bit put off by how Superman acted. I mean, it makes sense to a degree, but at the same time, eh,
He's pretty aggressive in this compared to the animated film. I will give it that.
yeah, this, especially the low blow he made to Wonder Woman and Batman.
But it did show you that he's developed very human emotions and very human attachments, and
Yeah.
that he was. I mean, Bruce was right. He had been compromised with his feelings, his emotions. He'd been alone forever, and a connection made him desperate. And I
Hmm.
think any of us would do that for our family. A
Oh,
cousin, a
definitely.
brother, a sister. Yeah. So Bruce doesn't understand that. He lost his family and only have his Alfred. And it
That's
took him
true.
till later when he made that low blow with the Jason thing that it made Bruce think like, oh, you know what? I'd act the same effing way if this was somebody I cared
Exactly. When
about.
it should be
So
more like Dick Grayson, but overall, another 10, right? Or 9 or 10, right?
dude, that's yeah. I can't really give anything a 10 because technically they don't exist. But
Right.
yes, I would say definitely 9.5 on that
Yeah,
one for
very
me.
close.
Yeah.
Barta was incredible.
Yeah, I was. I'm actually impressed with how well they did on the animated film because I wasn't familiar with the
Oh, yeah, it
comics.
matched
So
perfectly with Turner's style.
you're absolutely right, and they actually did it quite a bit of justice.
Now, after this one, things go a little off the rails for the next two story arcs. So, but we'll see you on the next one as we get into absolute power. Take
Okay,
care.
bye guys.